Welcome to Music in Progress, your window into the art of composing music. I'm your host, Michael Cook, a Bay Area composer and multi-instrumentalist. We'll delve into the depths of my creative processes that shape the music I make. Whether you're a fellow musician, an enthusiast, or simply curious about the magic behind the melodies, you'll find valuable insights, practical tips, and innovative techniques to inspire your own musical journey.
A milestone month of Multiphonics, new music, and creative momentum. Once again, I've been incredibly busy this past month, though this time most of that energy has gone directly into music. Finishing Riding the Dragon. By the beginning of the month, I completed my true woodwind quintet, Riding the Dragon. In the final stages of revision, I decided to extend the ending by about 30 seconds, and I think that small change made a significant difference. The conclusion no longer feels abrupt. Instead, it has a much stronger sense of arrival and resolution. Sometimes the final moments of a piece simply need a little more space to breathe. Returning to the Solo Circle Music Collection. With Riding the Dragon complete, I returned to my ongoing collection of Solo Circle music works and finished a new piece for solo clarinet. While the music itself is complete, I still need to finalize the performance instructions and prepare the score for publication. Working on the clarinet piece also reminded me how badly some of my instruments need maintenance. Because I play so many woodwinds, the instruments I use less frequently often don't receive the attention they deserve. It becomes difficult to justify expensive repairs for instruments that may only see 1 or 2 performances a year. Of course, that creates a frustrating cycle. The instrument becomes less reliable, so I perform on it less often, which makes repairs feel even harder to justify. Notating multiphonics. This particular clarinet work uses a large number of multiphonics, and I thought it might be interesting to share a little about how I approach notating them. Once I settle on a specific multiphonic and fingering, I create a fingering graphic for the performer and import it into Dorico as a custom playing technique. I also notate the resulting chord directly in the score, though I usually avoid the extremely precise microtonal notation that would technically be required. Instead of carefully labeling every pitch as quarter tone accurate, I simplify the notation into conventional sharps and flats for readability. To determine the pitches, I use a spectrum analyzer to identify the strongest partials, rounding them to the nearest conventional pitch. I also include performance notes and notation describing the amount of air pressure needed to produce the sound consistently. In many ways, these multiphonics become a balance between scientific analysis and practical performance notation. Revisiting the alto saxophone piece, I also revisited the solo alto saxophone circle music piece I wrote last year. I originally rushed to complete that work so I could begin writing the finale of my 4th symphony in time for its scheduled premiere. Returning to it now with fresh ears has been valuable. I've already made several revisions and am still considering one additional change before I finalize the score and add the remaining performance notes for publication. Beginning a solo violin piece. At the same time, I've begun work on a new solo violin circle music piece for the concertmaster of the SFCCO. We spent time discussing violin techniques, favorite repertoire, and things he enjoys or dislikes in solo violin writing. Those conversations gave me several ideas, but they also led me to reflect on my own compositional lineage. My teacher, Cindy McTee, who first introduced me to the concept of circle music, studied with Krzysztof Penderecki and lived with him in Poland for a period of time. That connection made me want to revisit Penderecki's music while developing ideas for this new piece. Many listeners primarily associate Penderecki's sonoristic works, built from dense textures and extended string techniques, but his style evolved dramatically throughout his life. His later music moved toward a deeply expressive neo-romantic language, including several remarkable solo violin works. Cindy McTee also wrote a solo violin work dedicated to him, Capriccio per Krzysztof Penderecki, composed the year I graduated from music school. As I continue researching and sketching ideas, I'm beginning to explore ways these influences might subtly filter into my own musical language. I should also have the opportunity to try a few ideas directly with the violinist during SFCCO rehearsals for our June concert. Looking ahead. Looking slightly further ahead, I've also started preliminary research for the piece that will follow the violin work, a bassoon concerto planned for a concert this fall. Preparing for the SFCCO concert. Beyond composing, much of my time lately has gone into preparing for the San Francisco Composers Chamber Orchestra concert on June 6. That means a constant mix of promotion, coordination between composers, performers, and conductors, and of course, practicing. After all, I'm not only serving as acting music director, I'm also performing as the bassoonist.